Hello, hi, welcome. I am Astrid, I am Wattle and Wool, and this is the part where I talk about my knitting, my makes, my adventures. So hello and welcome. I would first like to acknowledge the Indigenous people on the land on which I stand, the Wajak people, and pay my respects to the elders past, present and emerging. So I actually filmed this last week, but the lighting was so bad because it was thunderstorming and you couldn't like see anything. So let's try it again and let's hope I don't forget anything. It's only been a few weeks since I last recorded, and in typical me fashion, I've started 3 more projects and haven't finished many others because that's kind of what we do. And I've also forgotten, because I've recorded now twice, I've kind of forgotten what we talked about last time. So I just have my collection here and I'm going to talk you through those. So first up, I believe I have shown you my strawberry hat, which is this one here. I have sewn little fake seed pearls all over it to kind of simulate those strawberry seeds. And I've got the ruffle. It is so much fun. It's so whimsical. Like, it's just brilliant. So to make sure that the pattern worked, I wrote it again. I tested it again. Normally I actually don't knit them twice. I will knit elements of them and I don't knit the whole thing, but honestly, it's too cute and how could I resist? So this one obviously has still got ends everywhere and it doesn't have the seeds yet, but this one is adorable as well. I actually wore these to the markets. In Perth, we have like handmade markets, but the ones I went to were much more like just food stalls, which is still fun. And I was walking around and I managed to get to the craft section. And one of the girls was like, "Oh my God, did you make your beanie?" And I was like, "Yes." And she's like, "That's brilliant." And I was like, "Thank you." So yeah, this is, it's so much fun. On this theme then, so obviously all I need to do is put the pearls on this one and do the ends. I was walking through Spotlight, because this is just like Spotlight big box store yarn, chenille yarn, and I saw brown yarn and I was like, oh my God, wouldn't it be fun if it was a mushroom? And so now I've done a mushroom. So this is the brown yarn. It's just like very mushroomy. I actually love it. I did an extra ruffle, so the ruffle's really tight, an extra increase just before I cast off. So yeah, it's really tight on the ruffle, which I kind of love. And at the bottom, you can see I've picked up some stitches in white, and I'm actually going to do a double ruffle. And I'm going to do the next one in white. It's actually bamboo cotton, so I don't know how the stiffness is going to go, but I kind of want that to be a little bit less stiff, so it kind of peeks through like a frill on a mushroom. So this one is essentially exactly the same as the strawberry hat, except with an extra ruffle and a double brim. And I will be writing this up because why not? And my beanie patterns are always free. So these are going to be like a 2-for-1 freebie just because they're so cute. How can you resist? I just love them. So that is what's been keeping me busy and just whimsical. The second mostly finished object is a big cardigan kind of jacket thing. I posted this up onto my stories recently and I was like, hey, is it chic and faux fur or is it bathrobe? And unfortunately, overwhelmingly, the answer is bathrobe, but it is the most coziest bathrobe and I'm obsessed. So this is made out of, again, Spotlight big box store, Otis faux fur. And they are normally like $11. I think these ones are normally $11 as well. And I got this one on special for $6. So I think this is like less than $60, this whole jumper, which is pretty good. And it's just beautiful. It's so cozy. I did inset pockets here. So I split for pockets. I made sure it was just a little bit into the front side because you don't want pockets exactly on the horizontal seam. It just doesn't look right. So I made them a few stitches into the front, and then I basically knit back and forth, and then every time I got to here and then I would turn the work and there would be like the yarn, you know, you kind of pull the yarn forward, I would wrap it around a stitch holder. So one of those big safety pin looking things. And yeah, so I had them. They were so fiddly. I don't like it, but it worked. And then I came back and I picked up all those stitches onto chunky needles. At the same time, I used I believe it was the twisted German cast on. I don't know. It's the slingshot one. And it's really often used for socks. And it kind of gives this seamless beginning. And I loved that. And so I did that for the pockets. And then I just knit. I intended to do 3 stitches for the pockets for every held stitch. And then I basically just cast them off. And I knit into the held stitch as I cast it off. So that was the plan. But I actually cast on too many stitches. So I had to pick up another one. So it kind of worked out. And then I bound off at the edges of each pocket. So the edge, the sides. And it's worked really well. These pockets, I mean, I haven't filled them with a lot of stuff, but also the drape of this, I don't think I would want them to be filled with a load of stuff. It just kind of wouldn't work. And yeah, I wore this to school because that's where I test all my new things, because no one is honest like a teenager. Let me tell you, if you look trash, a teenager will tell you, or they will just not compliment you and make it really obvious. And it's obvious. So I wore this to school and I got mixed reviews. There was, wow, miss, you look like an OG Disney character, which I think is like one of the best compliments of my life. And then there were others who were like, oh, you made that. We know. We can tell. And I'm like, okay, child, thank you. You're 14 and you can't knit either, so back up. I did get another kid asking me if I could make one for him. And I also got like stroked, like my arms were like felt quite a lot because it is just beautiful. So I've technically finished it, like ends are woven in and pockets are done and I've worn it out and all of that. But I was talking to some friends and we were talking about how to fix it from like bathrobe. And one of them was like, why don't you embroider flowers on it? And I was like, oh my God, I've always wanted to do that. I've always wanted to embroider onto a knit fabric. And so that was in the back of my mind, and hold that thought for later. Actually, no, we'll hold it for now. We'll do it now. So basically, that was a good segue, except I ruined it. So I had the absolute joy of going to Cosy Cottage Yarns for day 2 of their opening. Day 1 was on a Friday, and I would have taken the day off, but it felt a little bit irresponsible. And so I decided that no, I should be good and I should go the right way. So I went on the Saturday and it was actually so good. It was really, really, really wholesome and heart affirming and I loved it. So I'll tell you what I got and then I'll tell you what I did. Keeping in mind that I was going to embroider on some yarn, I decided to look for some minis. And knowing that I've got a huge collection of minis already, I was kind of like, okay, they have to be spectacular for me to grab them. And then I found these ones and they are spectacular, and so I grabbed them. So this one is called Aussie, this collection, and they are like different greens and there's a yellow in there. And I thought for flowers and leaves, I would use these to embroider. And then this is Fantasia. And it's these beautiful pinky reds, and I just think they're beautiful. Both of them are 75% superwash merino, 15% nylon, 10% silver stellina. And so they've got a good amount of sparkle, but they're also kind of hard wearing, which is what I needed. So I'm going to use these to embroider onto the white jacket. I don't know when, because at the moment it's been thunderstorming, and I just can't see like fine detail when it's that dark. And then I would have the overhead light on, but it just doesn't seem to be great. I don't know. Maybe I'm being fussy. I could just be being fussy. But I'm going to embroider these onto that, figure out how, because I'm not very artistic. I'm creative, not artistic. So good luck me. And yeah, so I'm excited to put these onto that and see how it goes. I've got like a beautiful vision of big flowers. I don't know if it's going to work. I don't know. You'll find out. I also picked up 4 of these. So this is Melbourne City Dye Works in their Victorian grown Corriedale. It's 100 grams, 400 meters in egg blue. I picked up 4 of these, and the reason why, from my ex-boyfriend, I got given 3 of these spin cycle yarns, and oh my god, like, I absolutely, these are bucket list items. These are the absolute goat. I could not believe, I think I cried when I opened these, because oh my god. And yeah, they're absolutely stunning. So I decided to create a jumper. I'm really inspired by the Northern Lights by Sari Nordland. And at first I was going to do it, but I don't know. I decided not to. I think I decided last night I'm not going to. I originally bought them. I made sure I bought enough that I could do the Sari Nordland one. So that was my kind of baseline. So I've got 3 of these, and they're 150 yards. So I'm hoping it's okay. I really only want them they're only going to be the yoke. It's going to be a circular increase jumper with just the yoke. I've already started writing up numbers, pattern ideas, all of that. And then this one is going to be the main body. It is, because it's Corriedale, it's not merino, and so it is a little bit stiffer and a little bit more homey, a bit more rustic, which isn't my preference. So I'm hoping it softens a little bit when I block it. I'm hoping. Because what I really want is a big, thick, similar to this, I want a big fold over collar. And if it's too rough, it's going to hurt my skin. So I'm hoping that this will work, but we'll find out. So I've already gauge swatched for it, and it's perfect, and I'm ready to go. I'm ready to cast on. And so yeah, this is my future project. I have wound up the ball of this and to swatch with, but I haven't cast it on yet. Also because we're moving into hotter months, and I just don't know. On that note though, I have decided, actually on the similar note as the next one, I have decided to do a road trip to England, Scotland, Ireland, potentially Wales, and the Netherlands and Italy next year. So my best friend got into Cambridge, and I've been to every single one of her graduations. I kind of snuck into the last one, and I refuse to let her graduate without me being there. Even if we have to hire a photographer and do a fake graduation a few weeks before, I don't care, we're doing it. And so I'm so sorry, my cat is knocking the camera if that's wobbling for you. And so what I've decided is that we're going to Cambridge. So there's no point, as an Australian, there is no point flying from Perth, which is the most isolated capital city in the world, as in from distance from anywhere else, and then flying into England and then back. Like, be real. What's the point of that? And then also, I have my long service leave next year, which, oh my God, I've been teaching for 10 years. What? That's insane. So, careful cat. You're going to knock it again. Please be careful. Oh, good boy. Okay. So, because I've got my long service leave and I've got my best friend graduating, I decided that why not do a massive trip. So I've got, at the moment, I'm still in the planning stages. So please, any recommendations, and I'll do like proper videos and blah, blah, blah about it later, but any recommendations would be so useful. So I'm definitely doing hiring a car in Ireland and driving around. There's a few amazing places that I really want to go to, and I'm wondering if I can go to the Aran Isles. So Inishmore is one that I really want to go to. I'm just not sure how it's going to fit in, because I'm doing Scotland and I have to go to Shetland Islands. And Shetland is like a 19-hour ferry away. It's huge. Oh no, it was 12. Anyway, it's a long way away. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do, they've got overnights for ferries. And so I'm going to, basically I'm going to pack 2 suitcases and only fill one. And then I'm going to go, I'm thinking Scotland first, go up to the Shetland Isles and on the ferry overnight. And then, oh my God, Shetland ponies. And then Shetland wool. So I'm so excited for this. This is seriously, like, when I get tired or annoyed in class, I just like flick to the tabs that has all my Shetland stuff, and I just look at it for like 2 minutes and I'm happy again. And yeah, and so I'm planning on doing that. And then I've always wanted to do the Isle of Skye. I don't know why. There's that song. Da, 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 da. I can't sing it. I can't remember it. Da, 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 da. Yeah, that one. And I sang it in primary school, and then it was like Bonnie Prince Charles and the Isle of Skye. I don't know. And so over the sea to Skye, that's it. And I always wanted to just go to Skye and see what the point was. And so I'm going to go. Why not? And so I don't know if I'm going to have time to go to the Aran Isles as well as Shetland and Isle of Skye. I know they're not in the same country. They're in different countries. But yeah, I'm curious, and we'll find out. Then I'm going to go to England. I'm not going to hire a car in England, I don't think. I think I'll just use trains. My cousin has recently gotten married, and so I'm thinking of just like abducting her for a cousin honeymoon. Maybe her husband can come along, but definitely us two. And then it turns out my sister is going to be in England at the same time. And so we might all meet up, and then we might do the Cotswolds together. And yeah, Lake District will be beautiful. Kind of like those two. And then my best friend and I were thinking maybe a spa day in Bath, because Jane Austen and We Must Live Out are absolute best. And so yeah, Bath and Cambridge are the two places for my best friend and I. And then potentially Wales. I kind of want to go to Cardigan in Wales, because why not? Why would you not want to go to Cardigan in Wales? And yeah, so that's kind of, I'm adding like bits and pieces to this trip. Haven't got dates, haven't got times. At the moment, it's very conceptual. And then I am going to do, on the way home, I'm going to go to the Netherlands, partly because it's one of the only places in Northern Europe I haven't been to yet, or like Central Northern, on the west. I've been to pretty much everywhere in the east, but I haven't been there in the west. And so I really, really, really want to go. And so I'm getting some really good ideas and suggestions. That's been really fun. And then I'm going to go through Italy on the way down, and I'm so excited. I've always wanted to go to Italy, and yeah, that's going to be incredible. Again, I'm probably going to use trains in Italy. I've heard they're like fairly meh and a bit unreliable, but also I don't want to hire a car in Italy. I just don't. And so yeah, it's going to be great. And that's kind of my plans. So this is very much going to be the sweater that I wear in Shetland, because it's going to be cold. And so this is why I'm like, I do need the double collar. Bring it all back in. I do need the double collar because it's going to be cold. And I mean, this jumper got so much use in Iceland. Even in summer, I was in full gear, and I'm assuming it'll be similar in Shetland. So yeah, this will be like June, July kind of timing. And I know I'm going to be needing a very warm jumper. Kind of similar on the same vein, when I was in Iceland, we had the most amazing like yarn market, and we all just walked in and walked around, and it was beautiful. And I found from Hex Dye Works, I found these two colorways. I've got more of them. I'm just bringing out the colors to show you. This one, I cannot read it. Green at Offrund. I don't know if you can read that any better than I can, but it is absolutely stunning. It's this dark green, and it has like neps in it. And then this one is called Pipamenta, and it's a light green with like little neps in it and a little bit of brown. I'm obsessed. And so I bought these two knowing I'm going to make a colorwork jumper with them. Haven't decided what it is yet, but it will be a colorwork jumper. And I'm in a bit of a green place at the moment. Like pink is always my natural, but a bit of a green layup at the moment. And so when I went to Cosy Cottage Yarns, I should say as well that WA Styles, which is the dyer of these minis, is the in-house dyer. And yeah, and then I've got Melbourne City Dye Works. And then when I went to, that was all on Cosy Cottage Yarns. When I went there, I knew I had these. And so I was like, well, I don't want to have exactly the same, because obviously, why am I buying more? But I still love the green. So I saw this one first, and this is called Hunter. It is merino silk yak, which, oh my God. And it's by Natural Fibre Arts. And I don't think I've ever actually picked up any of their stuff. I don't know who they are, any of their stuff before. Same as Melbourne City Dye Works. I've seen them around. I've never picked up any of their things. So this is really fun for me. And I was just holding this in my hot little hands and just enjoying the feel because merino silk, yuck. And then I saw this one. And this one is Bermuda in merino silk cashmere. So 70 merino, 20 silk, 10 cashmere, whereas this is 60, 20, 20. And I just knew that together they are magic. And there was enough there for me to grab more. And so I was thinking out loud and I was like, well, if I know I've got these ones at home, and if I know that these are going to be a colorwork jumper, I don't need more jumpers. But what I've been loving wearing lately is a cardigan. And what I've been loving doing lately is brioche. So maybe I need to do a brioche cardigan with these colors. And so I have enough now for a brioche cardigan. And oh my goodness, I'm so excited. I have no idea when I'm going to make any of this, by the way. Any of this. But I'm excited for it. So this is... Sorry, cat. So this is, yeah, my latest purchase. I've got, like I said, I've got enough of these and they're absolutely stunning. The last thing, I know it's kind of out of order, but anyway. So when I went to the opening, it was amazing. And it was actually just so wholesome. So I walked in and there was immediately Rebecca and Miriam, and I recognized them both from Instagram because we love a good giveaway and we love tagging each other in a good giveaway, which, by the way, if you want to win stuff, tag me in a giveaway, but also I will tag you back. So just be warned. I love it. So Miriam has tagged Rebecca in a couple of giveaways and then Rebecca won, or Miriam won one for Rebecca in like one of my old giveaways. And so I recognized, especially Rebecca, and was like, hey, and so we were chatting straight away and it was really cool. And then another lady came in and her name was Jo, and it turns out, again, she's like an Instagram friend that we've all like chatted with on Instagram but then didn't recognize in person, and so that was really fun. And we were talking about caravanning and storing stuff underneath your caravan, which I have so much stuff that storing is difficult, and so we were kind of sharing ideas. And then Alison was there as well, and again, she's someone that we've chatted with. And Alison actually helped talk to me about this yarn store, and she told me it was opening in the first place, otherwise I wouldn't have known. And so it was just so wholesome. It was so delightful. And then so we had like this great time. We probably spent two hours in the yarn store, 2 and a bit, and just chatting and feeling yarn and picking up more yarn and laying out like our little our prizes, I guess, our stash, soon to be stash. And it was beautiful. And then I was kind of a bit like, all right, I've looked at yarn for 2 hours and I haven't touched anything, I haven't done anything, because I was really smart and left my project in the car, not the house. I don't live in a house. Wait, I don't live in a car. I left my project in the car. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to go home and just start knitting because I need to. And then I was walking back, and through Pioneer Village, there's like a little cafe at the front. And there was a lady there, and she was like, did you just go to the yarn store? And I said, oh my goodness, yes, I did. And she was like, well, I'm waiting for my friends and then we're going to go together. And I was like, that's amazing. So then we started talking, and her name is Susan, and that was lovely. And then by the time that kind of she and I stopped talking and her friends came, because I was like, I'll wait for your friends with you. So then when her friends came, and then Miriam and Rebecca were coming out of the yarn store, and so then we ended up getting a coffee together. And then we just talked about like life stuff, and it was so wholesome. It was so, so lovely. And yeah, and we just had a lovely time. And then by the time that we'd finished, Susan and her friends came into the cafe, and then we were talking, and then they actually invited me to their craft club on Wednesday nights, which is the cutest. So they are definitely the older generation, but I kind of love that. So I'm going to totally rock up. I didn't rock up last Wednesday because I had something else on, but I'm hoping that this Wednesday I can go to craft dinner and just like knit with these people. And I mean, why not? How amazing is that? Like, I love the fact that yarn just brings everyone together. So I had like the most wholesome time. It was so beautiful and I absolutely loved it. The last thing I have to tell you about, because I actually have to go. The last thing I have to tell you about is for my best friend. So like I said, my best friend got into Cambridge, which is so exceptional and so amazing. And she asked me if I could make her a scarf. And I was like, absolutely. What color would you like? And she was like, oh, you know me, neutral. I was like, cool. I don't think I've got any neutral. I'll have a look. So I kind of kept it in my mind when I went to Cosy Cottage Yarns, but I didn't see anything per se that I really loved. And then I was sitting in bed and I looked up and I saw this. And this is Ola and Me, I believe it is. It's a Kickstarter. I actually was recommended this by my friend in Norway, by Hannah. And it's a Kickstarter. And so you kind of order early. And she had some amazing ones. So when I was at her house, I was just like feeling everything. And I was like, wow. And she's like, yeah, like I got it from this Kickstarter. And there was yak and there was cashmere. And I was like, okay, I'm like done. I'm so going to have a look at this. So I did. And I ordered 4 skeins of this one. And this is 100% cashmere. And it's in the natural. And I mean, it's just gorgeous. But also, for me, it would have been a background. It would have been a base for something. And when Rach was like, I really, I want a scarf. And she's very classic. Like, we have a saying that I am the color to her monochrome. She is a lawyer. She is so put together. She's like a model. She's absolutely stunning. And I'm like the splot of watercolor of like oil paint. So it's like, ah! So we are together. We are so different, but we are just best friends and I adore her. So she was like, I'll pay you for the yarn. And I was like, actually offended. I was like, how dare you? This is a gift. I'm doing it for you. Don't you dare. So I've just started. I started it last night. We watched Freaky Friday together. This is number 2. Oh my God. If you loved Freaky Friday, if you're like me and that was part of your childhood, watch number 2. It is brilliant. Like heart-wrenching, but funny. So funny. And like these little throwbacks. Oh, genius. Actually genius. Anyway. So I started knitting this, and this is just a brioche scarf for her, and it's going to be, yeah, just a lovely brioche scarf. And I really wanted it to be classic, and I was thinking, what is more classic than like that ribbing kind of style? I didn't want to do a cable because then you've only got one side, right side, and I wanted it to be, you can chuck it on when you're studying, or even because this is going to be so squishy, and I've got 4 of these, so you can imagine how good it's going to be. You can ball it up and nap on it if you need in the library. So I wanted this to be, yeah, really lovely, really warm, really squishy, and really beautiful. And so far, it's doing pretty good. I can see a few mistakes because I definitely knit it in the dark, but I will fix that, and that's fine. It doesn't matter. It's the joy of doing it in the first place. So this is my latest project, and this is going to be, yeah, not really car knitting, but like non-focus knitting. Like at night when you can't be bothered and you just want to just do something repetitive, this is probably going to be that knitting because it's one color single brioche. So it's every single time it's just slip with the yarn forward, so slip stitch with the yarn forward, and then knit the next. And you're essentially knitting the 2 stitches, the one that you slipped in the previous round, and that original stitch, and the yarn over in the next stitch. It's super easy brioche, I love. And yeah, this is super, super easy. It's just going to be this. It's just going to be a simple brioche scarf. Anyway, I have to go. I have work this morning. I have got to go to tutoring and get some more money because I've spent it all on yarn, but honestly, it's so worth it. It's so lovely to spend time with you, and I will see you very soon. If you have any suggestions for Scotland, Ireland, England, Italy or the Netherlands, just a small range, let me know because I would love it. And yeah, I'll keep you updated. I've got like 9 months to plan this, so I'm sure you'll hear all about it. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you very soon. Bye.